What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Yes. Okay, guys, I'm here today because I got a request to show how I do my brows. I'm pretty sure it's no different than what any other YouTuber has done. But I will show you how I do mine and how I get mine the way that I do it. So we're just gonna jump right into it because I don't want the video to be so long. I always say that, but then it winds up being long, so I apologize. But we're gonna start off by brushing the brows into the direction we want them to go. And the brush that I use is the Flawless Liner Brows C6310 from the It brushes from Ulta. I don't know if you can see that because it's so shiny. But yeah, I got a few of these brushes, and I got them in a little palette from Ulta. There's quite a few of them, and then there's a blush brush and a foundation brush, but I don't use the foundation brush, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it, guys. So I'm gonna try to move you a little bit closer so you can actually see what I am doing. And I use the Dip Brow Pomade from Anastasia in medium brown, which I'll be changing my color soon because my hair is going to be so much brighter. But I go in and I do get quite a few on my brush. I don't know if you can see that. And I've got a mirror here that I'm going to use. And I'm going to start off on this brow. So what I do is I come underneath with a light hand because there's quite a lot on here. And then I just kind of lightly go up like that. And then I'll bring the brush and come back down. And you'll want to end it where your eye ends. And you want your arch to be where your temple is going. And then you want the front to start from where your nose is. So if you want a guideline, that's what you can do. So that's what I am doing. And it took a long time and a lot of practice to do this. So if it doesn't turn out right the first time that you like it, just wipe it off, try it again. Keep trying. And eventually you'll get it to the way that you like it. Okay? And this is just the way that I like to do my brows. It's easier for me. And don't worry if it looks a little messy because we're going to clean it up. Okay? And then I start where I want my arch to be, and then I come down. And just come straight down on that. Okay? And then you can see where if you move your eyebrow up, like on a high, going like that, you can see where your arch should be. So you can also do that. And then just bring it down and connect it to the opposite end. From the one that you did at the bottom. And then I just keep going and going until I get it. So let's just go ahead and do that. And like I said, don't worry if it looks thick or big at first because we're going to clean the eyebrow up, so it's not going to look the same. And I'll show you how I clean my brows up to get it the way that I want it. So I start on the end first because you want the end to be darker than the front. So I just come in and do little stroke motions and just deepen that up. And then just go forward. And then when I get to about right here, this is where it starts getting lighter. You want it to kind of fade, okay? So let me move back into the camera, I'm sorry. You just want to keep going and filling. And then, like I said, once we get about right here, I kind of do the mark off because this is where I want it to jump off to end at. And then I just continue to fill it in with a light hand and whatever is left on the brush. I don't add anything at this point. Only time I do the adding is when I'm going back. So we just want to fill in and make sure everything is filled in. Like I said, don't worry if it doesn't look exactly right at first, because we are going to clean the brow up. Okay, so that's about how I do mine. It looks a little thick at first, but don't worry, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna clean everything up. So let me go ahead and start on the other brow, and then I'll be right back. Sorry. Okay guys, I'm back. So I have both of them on, and I know they look really thick at first, but I do it like that just to make sure that I've got all of my, you know, I's and T's crossed. So when I go ahead and do it, and I use the Anastasia contour kit, and then I go in with, I'm not sure if it's set out right, Fair, excuse me, I use Fair, and that's how I clean up my brows. So I take another brush, which this one's the Equal Tools. If you've seen them, they sell them at Walgreens, they sell them at Walmart, they even have them in Ulta and Sephora. And I've used these brushes for years and I've never had a problem with them. So this is how I clean my brows up. Even though your brows are like twins, they're not identical twins, okay? So they're not gonna look but be the same exact way each time. Just like the left and the right side of your body, one's bigger than the other, that's exactly how your brows are gonna be. But this is how we get them to look, when somebody's looking at you, to look very symmetrical and even looking, okay? And I've started doing it this way. So what I do is I start with one side, and I'm gonna start with the thicker side first. Since this one's not as thick, I'm gonna start with this one, and I'm gonna go ahead and go under it like that, and I'm gonna clean the brow up. So I'm gonna go under and then go where I want my arch to go. And then bring outward like that. And then how I get the other one to be just like this one, I go ahead and take some more, and because I want them to be across from each other, I kind of do a line like this. I do a thick line like this to come across, and then I start with this one, and then I'll go up. And since we don't need too much cleanup on this side, because it's already kind of the size that I do want it, we're just gonna kind of clean up and go around. So again, this is how I do it, and it's worked for me for years. And then I kind of bring it up so I know exactly how I want it to be. And I constantly look at myself, raise my brows to make sure that they look the same. And I don't wipe or do anything just yet. Okay, so since this one's thicker, we're gonna start with this side. And we're gonna go and clean it up. And once we get right here, this is how we're gonna bring it down to bring that shadow in for the arch. Just like that. I don't like it too pointy, but I like it to be round at the same time. So just like that. And if we mess up, we can always go back and fix the arch later, which I normally do. Like, see how I got some right there? Too much? We're gonna go back and we're gonna fix that. So don't worry. And the same, like I said, the same at the bottom. I just draw a line across so they can meet with each other. So I know where I need to start on the other side. And then I come in and do the same exact thing. To the brow. So now that we've got it like that, and because I want to fix this brow right here, because I want just a tiny bit too low, I'm going to go ahead and add to it. That way I can fix it. Okay, so then I usually take a brush or a sponge or my finger. Sometimes I go in with my finger and I go in and wipe it off. And we're going to continue to wipe, so don't worry about that. I just want to get most of it off so I can see where we might need to fix it. And then this is where I take my finger and we mush it down. And see how it brings the line again back out? So just in case if you've accidentally wiped it off, don't worry. You'll find it again. Because it'll come back down and it'll clean up what is there. And then I kind of go in and mush that down. And just kind of clean it up. And like I said, this is how I do mine. You don't have to do it just like me, but if it does help you guide, because this is how I help it guide me with making it exactly the way that I want it to look. And like I said, even when you're cleaning up, we will go back and we will fix everything. So don't get discouraged and think, oh, I messed up, and just wipe it away all the way. No, you don't have to. Unless you want to, you can, but you certainly do not have to. So this is how I do it. And we're just going to keep cleaning it up, and then we will add here in a second what we need to add. Okay? Sorry, I got a towel over here, so that's what I'm using to wipe my fingers off. See how I said it'll bring the tail back down? Don't worry. You'll get it back as long as you're, so basically that's it. So since I need to add my front again, I'm not sure why that had the white on there, but I'm going to dip back into my pomade, tap off anything that's too dark, and then come in, and then I'll show you how I get the fade effect as well. It's super simple, super easy. And this is how I do it. I found like this, the way that I do it works for me. So as you can see, it looks like it's not symmetrical with each other. I just always look at myself from afar and then raise my brows to make sure everything looks similar to each other, which this side has more of a point at the front right here. So like I said, I keep adding and taking away, adding and taking away until I have it the way that I want it to look. So if you look there, And then another way you can tell if you've got it all the way symmetrical is to look down. And because I still leave some there, I can always come back in and reshape so it looks even with each other. And then, like I said, I would come back in and I would fix the arch on the other side and see if they're similar with each other. And then come back in and take anything away that I need to take away. So that's how I do it. And then if one tail is longer than the other, I just come in very lightly and bring down. Take away, bring down, take away, bring down. And that's basically how I do it. So let me go ahead and prep my face a little bit and I will show you how I get the fade effect in the front right here. Okay, so give me just a second. Okay guys, now that I've got my skin prepped, I've got my contour on, I've got my highlighter on, and this is how I get the fade effect in the front, okay? I take my foundation and I put my foundation on just like how I would any other day, any other time. And I used to use a brush, which I like to brush, so if you use a brush, go ahead. I found a beauty blender to work a lot better. So what I do is I take my foundation and I put it on regular, okay? I just pat that on and put it over everything. I know some people put the concealer on afterwards, but I like putting it under my foundation. I found it to work a lot better for me. Just find whatever works best for you, okay? You don't always have to go by what another person did. You just find your own way. And then, but if this works for you, go ahead and do it because it works for me. You know, so that's why I do it, because it works so well for me. So I put my foundation on, like I said, and I even put it over my eyes. And I work that into the skin really well. And we bring it down to our neck just to fade anything that needs to be fade. Or fade. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and we will come to the middle. So this is how I do it. And I do use the Urban Decay, the 24-hour. I really like it. I found it works for me. So whatever foundation works for you, use that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and go on to the other side. Pat that in. And go over my concealer to put it underneath because it's still going to have that brightening effect. Don't worry. Over my chin, my ears. I do it all over here because I want everything just to look one color. Like I said, bring it down to the neck. And I think it just makes the skin look more flawless using a beauty blender, because there's not as many strokes or anything that you have to get out if you use a brush. Okay, so this is how we do the fade effect. I take my beauty blender and take what is left on it, and then I come and I go up, just straight up the middle. You see how it made it lighter? That's exactly what I do. And I leave it like that. I don't change it unless I have to, but that's how I found out to get the fade effect, you know, a lot better. So we're gonna finish putting this foundation on, and then as well as the powder helps as well. So this is what I found to work for me. And if it helps work for you, I'm super, super happy that it does, because I found this way and it was the easiest way to make everything work. And like I said, the beauty blender just makes the skin look so much more flawless, and that's why I like it. I never used a beauty blender before, and then when I got a hold of one to use for foundation and stuff, I was super happy about that. So that's how I get the fade effect in the front. And then, like I said, your powder, just put your powder on regular and even go through the middle, and you're pretty much done, you know. So this video is kind of running long, so I'm trying to hurry up. And I've got the Becca. Oh, that came out a little bit. I've got the Becca from my BoxyCharm box. I really like this. But you can use Laura Mercier, you can use the Urban Decay, any kind of lighting powder. This is just what I've been using. And this is where I place it under the concealer. Where the concealer was, where the foundation was. And there we go. Because I don't want it to be too bright under my eyes, but I still want it to be bright. You know what I mean? So this is what I do. And because we had the concealer on our nose as well, that's also where we are going to put it. So I take just a little bit of it and I come and put it on my nose. So that's that. And then we're gonna move on to the powder. And I use the L'Oreal True Match. Sorry for the background, it's my son. The True Match. And the color that I'm in W2. It is the, oh, sorry, it's upside down. So W2. And I take my powder brush and I come in and I just go over the face. And I do patting motions. I don't do swirls at first because I don't want to mess up what we already have there. So this is what I do. And this is how I do it. And then we will come over it. And see how it just continues to lighten it up? That's how I do my brows. So I use everything to my advantage to help with the lightening of it. Then I come down on my neck to set whatever's there. And then come over my nose, my mouth, and everything like that. So, like I said, that's how I do it. I hope it helps you. And I will see you guys with another video. I will upload both of these tomorrow. So I'm doing this Sunday, you will see it Monday, okay? So again, I hope you like it. Like I said, that's how I do the fade effect in the front, is from my foundation and from the powder brush. So we just keep it there and just move over. So thank you guys for sitting with me, and I hope this helps the person that wanted a tutorial on my brows. I really hope this helps you. You can do it my way, or you can do it whatever way that you choose to do it. It's all up to you. I'm just giving you suggestions, and this is just how I do my brows. It's worked for me for years. And I did have trouble at first doing my brows, and I constantly did it, constantly did them until I got it to the way I wanted it. It's just practice makes perfect. I can't stress that enough. Practice makes perfect to anything. So again, thank you for sitting with me, and I love you all. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I love each and every one of you. Like, I'm so proud to even have any of y'all subscribe to me. So it is a blessing in disguise, and don't worry, it doesn't go unnoticed. When I see it, I'm very excited and very happy about it. Like I said, I'm still new to YouTube, so I'm still learning. And I just want to be here to help anybody else. I'm not a makeup artist by any means. I don't claim to be, and I'm not trying to be. I'm self-taught, and I just want to help anybody else out there who is just like me, and just trying to learn new stuff. You know what I mean? And this is how I learned. It's, you don't have to always go by my way. You can just take what information that you've learned from anybody and just apply it to how you want to do it. It's all about you. So again, thank you for sitting with me. And to all my other regular subscribers, thank you, lovelies. And don't forget about the giveaway. The winner will be picked Saturday, and the contest does it's over with on Friday at 11:59 p.m. So you still have time to enter if you want to enter. If you don't want to enter, you don't have to. I'm not going to force you to, okay? But to everybody else who has entered so far, I'm super happy about it. And I want to say good luck to each and every one of you ladies, to whoever the winner is. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you for sitting with me again. And I'm sorry this video ran long, but you know, hey, it is what it is. So bye, my beautifuls, and I will see you again with another video. Yeah, yeah.